Even everyone, it's 6 o'clock. We still have some individuals that are still coming into the waiting room. So we'll give them another minute or two to see how many more come in, and then we'll start. Thanks for coming. All right, it is 6:02. So with respect for everyone's time, I want to thank you for coming out and welcome you to this graduation town hall. We are so excited to start planning for what I feel is the greatest on the school calendar. It is the celebration of our graduates. I know everyone that works within a high school is always excited about watching students that they've worked with for 4 years finally march across the stage. And we're excited because this year we've again gotten some pretty good news. We're in a lot better spot than we were last year, even in a better spot than we felt that we were going to be in December and January. We finally gotten some information from the governor and gotten some ordinance on numbers and restrictions to participants and some directives from our school and our division. And so we've been able to come together. We have our dynamic graduation planning committee on the line with us who's doing a great job planning. And so we've been taking some time, having some discussion behind the scenes and starting to really develop a solid plan foundation. So we have enough information now that we can share these plans with you all to give you an idea of what graduation will look like this year in the spring. So we're excited to again celebrate the class of 2021 in the spring, and we just wanted to take some time to share that information with you all today. So again, thank you for coming, and we will start with our first slide, which talks about if there are any questions that you have throughout this presentation. There is a Google form link below that you can access. You also can put any questions that you may have within the chat as well. And we'll go through the chat throughout this presentation and answer as many questions as we can with the information that we have. If there's a question that we don't have an answer to, again, we will have a Google form and we will get the answer to the questions that you may have. So again, thank you for coming. Hopefully we'll get you as informed as we can and you won't have a lot of questions, but if you do, again, we're here to answer those questions for you. So this year, we will hold 2 in-person graduations. The first graduation will be Friday, June 4th, and it will be at 8 p.m. We will also have another graduation date on Saturday, June 5th, and that will be at 10 a.m. There were plans and thoughts about having one single graduation. I know that may be the question that will come up. So I wanted to go ahead and answer it up front. Division wanted us, as far as high schools within the division, to be uniform about the amount of graduations that we offered students. Albemarle being so large and having such a large graduation class due to the COVID restrictions that the governor had placed, it was impossible for them to have one. So the least amount of graduation we could have altogether as a uniform division was 2. So we landed on 2, and again, those dates will be Friday, June 4th at 8 p.m., Saturday, June 5th at 10 a.m., and we do have a rainy date for those. The rainy date for the Friday graduation will shift to Saturday night. The rainy date for Saturday's graduation will shift to Sunday morning. So we have a choice of dates and times. Students will have the opportunity to choose their ceremony date via a Google form. So we just won't separate students by alphabets. They will have an opportunity to choose which date they want to graduate on. Again, students may only participate in one ceremony. Both ceremonies will be professionally live streamed and linked and shared with families, will be free of charge. And alternatively, there will be, students will be able to participate in a smaller picture ceremony opportunity if they do not feel comfortable with the larger graduation ceremony. So there will be an opportunity, just like last year, if you want to come have a picture taken and experience graduation, by yourself. Those are the opportunities that we will provide.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ms. Bendick. I'm one of the graduation coordinators. So we wanted to talk just a minute about the private graduation photo opportunity. If students choose the option of the private graduation photos in lieu of the larger graduation ceremony, graduates would arrive with their families at their appointed times and have their photos taken on or near the stage that will be used for their graduation ceremony. The photos will be available for purchase after that. At this opportunity, there will be no formal programming. There won't be announcements or any kind of pronouncement of the graduation. This is solely an opportunity for students and their families to come and have a photo taken on the stage itself. And then the date and time for these photos will be announced later, but the plan right now is for that opportunity to be held during the same weekend of June 4th through 5th. So you will have the opportunity to sign up for a time, come for that time, have your picture taken, and then it will be available for purchase later on. Guest tickets for the in-person graduation have been set at 4. So each graduate attending an in-person graduation will receive a minimum of 4 guest tickets. Guests will sit in marked pods spaced 10 feet apart. Guests must be masked for the entirety of the event and sit only in the designated pods. This is to adhere to the COVID guidelines. Seniors will be invited to come as guests to the ceremony in which they are not participating so that they can see their friends graduate. A special senior section will be created. So the thought was that if you are not going to be attending one of the ceremonies, then you could come and support your friends who are there. We'll get you more information about that later on, and we will be asking seniors to sign up for that. So we'll make sure that you have the information on that later.
Have to get to that unmute button. So what we will be doing next is we will be sending out, too far. There we go. Geez, there we go. We will be sending out tomorrow a form asking seniors to choose which of those 3 options they're going to attend. They don't need to choose which date yet, but whether they plan on attending an in-person graduation on the turf field, whether they attend the private ceremony, or whether they don't plan on participating in any of the above. We ask that this form is completed by April 19th. That's going to allow us to do some planning in terms of which students, where we need numbers and all those things. And we will then send out a second form. And that second form will be the second part based on that first one, to say which day would you like to choose. And we'll be sending that form out on the 21st to say which day you would like to choose, whether you would like the Friday or the Saturday graduation. Again, there are very limited spots at each of those. So it's gonna be very important that if you are very particular about wanting a Friday choice or a Saturday choice, that your son or daughter is sitting near the computers at 6 o'clock on Wednesday, because that's when it will go out to both student email addresses and families at 6 o'clock with limited spots available. Both of these forms we're asking the students to complete. That way we do not have, we can limit it because of the K-12 Albemarle address aspect of things. So that way we don't have people signing up for both a parent and a student signing up. So that would limit it to each student making this choice at 6 o'clock. Students who choose and families who choose the private ceremony will also be getting information about the times for that as well. We have some questions there. Do we want to stop and answer some of the questions at this point?
There was one, I answered it in the chat.
Okay, perfect. Is this my slide? I'll just keep going. We also have some other things that we're very proud of, all the hard work. So we have some stuff that we will be doing to recognize our seniors. We know it's not been the experience that they want, but we will be giving a WAS face mask to our seniors, and then also some yard signs as well. So be on the lookout for more information about all of that.
All right. Hi, guys. I'm Megan Strite. I'm one of the graduation coordinators. Thank you very much for all of your help in pre-ordering your students' caps and gowns through Herff Jones. This has been a departure from our normal process. But when we started this planning back in September, we were not sure of the reality we'd be in right now. So the safest option for us was to have families individually order the caps and gowns. And we really appreciate you doing that on your own and taking the initiative. So the process from here, a Herff Jones representative will be at Western on April 28th and 29th to hand out the items that students and families have ordered. And so the week prior, Sign Up Genius will be shared with every student who ordered anything for your own individual appointment to come by the table and pick up all the items that are ordered. So if there are questions regarding the caps and gown pickup, feel free to put those in the chat. We can get back to you, but there will be more information coming shortly about that.
Hi, and I apologize for my voice. Allergies have hit me hard. My name is Molly Miracle, and I'm one of the coordinators as well. So there's a lot of other sort of senior type of things that we thought we would go ahead and mention tonight. Senior shirts are packed up and ready to be picked up. Some students have already been getting these from Ms. Kuhn's room. She's one of the senior class sponsors. And I believe they've emailed all the students as well about the system they have in place for virtual students to come by and pick those up. Senior portraits are April 23rd. I know Mr. Hughes has been very active about communicating, I think, with students and with the school about that. So there should that information should be in your students' emails. I assume parents probably got that as well. We've been doing something all year called Senior Spotlight, where students have the opportunity to answer a series of questions and then send a picture. And we've been putting these on Instagram, but they are also going to go onto the webpage. So we've had about 40 or 50 responses so far. We are hoping that will pick up this year, or sorry, pick up really soon now that kids know what they're doing. And so if you hear about that, or maybe you want to ask your senior if they've sent in their spotlight, we'd like to get some more of those. And then that would give a chance for you guys to go to the website and look through and get to see everybody in the senior class and what some of their plans are for the future, and just also some, kind of silly questions that they got to answer as well, just to show their personalities. Senior class officers are getting ready to get started on organizing painting of the senior wall. That has been a fun tradition that has been at Western as long as I can remember, and that's been quite a while. So they're trying to organize that and come up with a system for students who are hybrid to come down and be able to paint their square. Every senior gets a square on the senior wall and gets to paint it and with their name or put a little quote or design on it. And then they will also look to probably at least one, maybe 2 Fridays where students who are virtual could come in and paint their section of the wall as well. We will also create the senior board. That's another tradition that something that's happened at Western, where each student gets their own piece of cardstock with their name on it, and they get to design it, decorate it however they want. And then we create a big board in the cafeteria displaying each senior and whatever they want to tell us about themselves. So all of this information should be coming to student emails. So just if you want to check in, if you haven't heard anything, it should all be coming to you guys pretty soon.
All right, yeah, like I said, we were excited. It's the most exciting part of your educational career, and we are here to celebrate it with you and make it the best experience that we possibly can make it. If there are any questions that you all have, just put them in the chat and we can answer those as well. There is a Google form if there are any questions that you may have that you can put in as well, and we'll try to answer those. So as far as the minimum number of tickets, at this point, we said, the minimum number that we will give out is 4. The max will be determined based on the actual numbers of graduates who decide to participate. So that's why it's important for us to get that information because we have to calculate that all into the max capacity that we could have at the facility. So the maximum capacity we could have is 1,160 people. So we have to kind of see how many graduates we're going to have and be able to multiply that by the amount of tickets that we can pass out. So we're just basically trying to get a number of participants that max participants, and then we can get a better number on what the max tickets may look like. So at this point, the number of participants, graduates that we're capping each ceremony will be at 145. So 145 per ceremony.
As for the senior portraits, I'm not sure if anyone in the group knows exactly on that, but I do believe that is correct, that if you've sent in your own individual picture, I think that you're fine for the yearbook. I don't.
That's
correct.
what I
Okay,
that's correct.
understand also.
And I'll go. My assumption for the second part of that question, if you do have, I know there's a number of families with 2 seniors in them, we will make sure that they are in the same ceremony. So we would not ever separate a family. So there'll be a little bit of a cushion to make sure that would happen.
Going back, there's a question about how will students receive the ability to sign up for the graduation date on the 21st. So that will be a Google form that comes to student email. And so the students will have access a week from right now, right? A week from today on Wednesday, the 21st at 6 p.m. Have your student be on his or her email, and it will come as a Google form through the email.
So I saw the email about the senior t-shirt. So I made an assumption that an email had gone out. They did just put that together. So I will check with the 2 senior class sponsors and make sure, I'm sure they have that in their plans to get that email.
I answered the question,
out.
Ms.
Okay,
Miracle.
okay. Yeah.
It's going out with this information tonight.
I see. Okay.
So, sorry.
There's also, the ceremony will be held on the turf field. So it will be on the field.
As for how long the ceremony will last, that is still being determined, but we do anticipate with having a reduced number of students that it will be faster and more efficient than in years prior. And in terms of will the diplomas be handed out directly by hand, we're still sorting out those details with downtown and figuring out what's the safest way and most efficient way we can move students through those motions of the ceremony. So still to come.
I'm going to bet we're all pausing because we're not 100% sure about that one. Then, Ms. Murphy, I think we appreciate you saying that. So let us brainstorm
Absolutely.
on that so that we can be equitable with that.
And that was definitely a great question. Some of the questions that are good to come out, so we can definitely make sure that we provide an equitable opportunity for people to sign up. So thank you for that question. And like I said, like Mr. Gillespie said, we'll brainstorm the solution for that and make sure we get that information to you all. Mask will be required for those at graduation ceremonies. And again, we'll talk to Dal. I mean, that is that's a school board policy, so that's a policy that we would have to check with central office to see how can we accommodate those needs of an individual who may be medically unable to wear the mask. But we'll check on that as well.
So there's a question asking for the dates again. Friday, June 4th at 8 p.m. Saturday, June 5th at 10 a.m. Rain dates are Saturday, June 5th at 8 p.m. or Sunday, June 6th at 10 a.m.
Mr. Gillespie, would you put the link to the slide deck in the chat again in case folks want to come back and revisit it? So all of that information is included in the deck, which you now have access to. This recording will be shared over email, I believe, by tomorrow once the video has rendered, and this will come to senior students and families. It looks like we have a hand raised. Joseph, do you want to go ahead and ask your question?
We're hoping it gets the full rain out. But if it is, we'll evaluate other dates and times to try to fit it in. But we're speaking against rain out.
That's right. No full weekend rainouts allowed, right? Like we're crossing our fingers against that.
And yes, we are on the football field, the turf field. Mhm.
I see Reed found the state document about
Right.
masks. So I don't know if there's any other
leeway. Yeah.
leeway.
And I'm not sure if anybody here can speak to the exact date for yearbooks. I think an organized signing party is a great idea, but none of us here are the sponsors of that. So I'm not sure that we have that exact information.
All right. Well, again, thank you all for your time. We will share this information out. Make sure you guys have the right dates. Look for the emails and the communications. Again, if you have any questions that you think about after this meeting, the link is still in the chat. You might want to grab that and have it available. So if any questions come up, you can put something in that form, and we'll again try to get as many answers as we can. We thank you for being patient. Appreciate all your support. Again, we're going to work hard to make this a special moment for you all to celebrate. So thanks. We appreciate it. Have a great night.